Mbukeli ihora lesithathu ke leli esesiligadiga njengamanje sesokhala amaphepha sibonga kakhulu ukuhlanganyela kanye nathi. Hey mbukeli kuthiwa umfundo wayebuza ke igirlfriend yakhe ethi Thembi usasa sabhebi later ngithi waphendula kuThembi wathi ayi angisezi. Ubhuti wami yambona lo bhemi insangu ukhona manje bathe nje ayi angigadi isinkwa. Yazi kukhale nomunye ke wathi kubo idrink awuyiphuzi ngoba womile. Uyiphuza nje ngoba ayi izoziphela ungasayitholanga. Igama lami Mbukeli ngonoxolo mamtshali wakwaMwali sibonga kakhulu ngokuhlanganyela kanye nathi la ekhaya Jikelele.
Sibulele Mbukeli ngokuba uhlanganyelene nathi la Ekhaya Jikelele. Singena ke kwi-yure yethu yokugqibela yenqubo. Wena ukhona ufikayo ngoku ukhwela sowubhatele ngoba sekufuphi ekuyiqukumbeleni namhlanje. Ukanti ke Mbukeli nali elinye lamanqaku ongathi uwalindele. Inkulu baphathisi yaseGauteng uPanyaza Lusifi uthi inkqubo yokucinywa kwe-e-tolls kweli phondo iza kuqala ekupheleni kwenyanga ezayo. Kuninzi Mbukeli esikuphathele kona kule yure singena kuyo. Ithi zava nje uzibukelele wena inkqubo oyithandayo. Njimlo ukholosa Lubisi unonkanyezi uMahlongothi umazipha umamshukuma ozondwa ngezakhe izinto masijonge Mbukeli eziphala phambili kule yure.
After more than 3 years of determined lawfare activism by the DA, we have today succeeded in our quest to force the ANC to hand over cadre deployment records dating back to the period when President Cyril Ramaphosa was chairman of the Deployment Committee.
I-African National Congress igcine ihlinzekile i-DA ngemqulu equkethe imininingwane emayelana nokujutshwa kwamalungu alo iqembu elibusayo ePhalamende.
I think the one missing is obviously the Olympic Games. Not having gone in 2020, it's a big objective for the team. It's not about one individual, it's about the whole team. We have one goal, and that is to get to the Olympics.
Umqeqeshi banyana uthi ujoge ngabevu ukudlala kwe-Olympic eliqela lizakuqhubisana neTanzania kumdlalo wokuzibekela indawo.
I-ANC sigcine iligobile uphondo yahlangabezana nomyalelo wenkantolo wokuthi ihlinzeke i-DA ngemqulu equkethe imininingwane yokujutshwa kwamalungu e-ANC ezikhundleni zikahulumeni. Lamaqembu achithe iminyaka emithathu egqiqa ezinkantolo eqophisana ngalolu daba.
Isize yaphumelela imizamo ye-DA yokuthola imininingwane yokujutshwa kwamalungu e-ANC ezikhundleni kanti manje i-DA isizobhekisisa ukuthi engabe iyona yini lemininingwane.
After more than 3 years of determined lawfare activism by the DA, we have today succeeded in our quest to force the ANC to hand over cadre deployment records dating back to the period when President Cyril Ramaphosa was chairman of the Deployment Committee.
Umhlaziyi wezombusazwe uDokotela uFikile Vilakazi uchaze mayelana nesizathu ebesenza ukuthi i-Democratic Alliance ilokhu ifune njalo imininingwane yokujutshwa kwamalungu e-ANC ezikhundleni kahulumeni.
Just to remember why this case is an issue for the DA, the matter was brought to court to ask the African National Congress to reveal details regarding their cadre deployment policy. And the argument that the Democratic Alliance is making is that even if the ANC is a private organization, the cadre deployment policy does have effect towards the public.
Njengoba lolu daba selibese itebenze enkantolo cishe iminyaka emithathu manje uDokotela uVilakazi uthi kufanele ngabe kadiphendulile kulolu daba iANC. Uqhubeke wathi ngokwakho ukubona imininingwane yokujutshwa kwamalungu ezikhundleni kahulumeni imqoka ngoba kuyenzeka amalungu athola izikhundla ngokungafanele. Umbuzo mile uthi ngabe izoculiseka yini DA ngayo lemininingwane.
Inkulumbuso yaseGauteng uPanyaza Lusifi uthi inkqubo yokucinywa kwe-e-tolls kweli phondo iza kuqala ekupheleni kwenyanga ezayo. Esenza intetho yakhe yobume bephondo uPanyaza uthe urhulumente wephondo udibene nabaphathiswa bezimali nothutho malunga nomba we-e-toll. Kubekho ukulibaziseka ekuyekisweni kwenkqubo yorhafisa ephikisanayo kusukela oko kwabhengeza ukuba iza kucinywa ngo-2022.
Kanti ke njengamanje Mbukeli mangabe sibheka nje ke i-Statistics South Africa kulindeleke ukuthi sikhiphe izinombolo mayelana nesimo sabantu abasebenzayo nabangasebenzi. Okamanje ke mbukela siqu etolo emva komzuzwana sizobe sesibuya. Siphinde-ke sikwamukele mbukeli lapha ekhaya Jikelele, sibonga kakhulu ukuthi ke usahlanganyele kanye nathi. Mbukeli khumbula ke ukuthi sike sakubikela mayelana nodaba oluthi iqembu elibusayo i-ANC likwazile ukuhlangabezana nomnqamlajuqu wokuhlinzeka iqembu eliphikisayo ngokusemthethweni kuleli i-DA ngamaminithi emhlangano yekomiti le-ANC elibhekele ukujuba amalunga leli qembu ezikhundleni zokuphatha kuhulumeni. I-DA ikholwa ke ukuthi lo mgomo we-ANC yiwona waholela ekutheni kugwamandwe amandla ombuso kudlange nenkohlakalo. Njengamanje ke sexhumana nokhulumela i-Democratic Alliance kuzwelonke uSoli Malatsi. Soli, asikubingelele ekhaya Jikelele, sibonga kakhulu ngesikhathi sakho namhlanje kuseni.
Sawubona sisinoxolo ngibulisena abalaleli nababukeli beshow yakho.
Malatsi, kungani nifuna ukwazi ngamaminithi e-ANC cadre deployment from 2013 nokusho ukuthi yini nikhethe ukuthi nifuna imininingwane ye-cadre deployment esuka ku-2013?
Ekuqaleni masiya enkantolo besi challenger ukuthi i-cadre deployment committee le ithatha izinqumo lezi zi-affecta ukuthi kuqashwa bani kuma government departments nakuma state owned enterprises. So sacela ama minutes okuya since 2013 inkantolo yase Gauteng North Court no Supreme Court of Appeal ike yazivumelela lokho. Kwenzeka ukuthi i-ANC inga release ama minutes awusuka ku 20 I think 2014 to 2018 and kulelo period umongameli President Cyril Ramaphosa bokuuye uyisihlalo saleyo committee because siyazi ukuthi i-deputy president ye-ANC ngasonke isikhathi kuhlala kuuye umuntu lo a-chair leyo committee. Esifuna ukubonisa ukuthi le committee le isebenzisa amandla wayo ukuthi i-decide ukuthi kuqashwa abobani kuma government departments and thina sithi lawo amandla akufanelanga babe nawo because mase uqashwa kuma government departments na kuma state owned enterprises kufuneka ukuthi wonke umuntu anikezwe ithuba elilinganayo, ithuba elifanayo. Abantu bangaqashi ngenxa yokuthi bona ama comrade ka-ANC or bathandwa yi-ANC. So inkantolo last week yathatha isinqumo sokuthi i-ANC release lawa ama documents. Ngingaconfirm manje ukuthi lawa ama documents siyathole izolo ngo-5 PM. As you can imagine agcwele kakhulu siyathole electronically okwamanje siyawafunda ukuthi one siqinisele ukuthi ayikho into bayifihleyo kuleyo information because bebakhalaza ngokuthi i-private details zabantu sizawuvela. Thina njengeqembu elihlonipha umthetho soze si publishe ama ID numbers wabantu. And nangomso on Wednesday Pretoria Gauteng North Court inkantolo izawuyenza i-ruling regarding indaba yokuthi i-cadre deployment is it constitutional or not because enye i-case lebe sisekhona oko sukwenziza ukuthi sifuna ukuthi every South African athole ithuba elifanayo atreatwe fairly applyela umsebenzi kuma government departments especially lama senior positions abu director general abu CEOs ama state owned enterprises ne boards zakhona.
Manje ke njengoba nje ke i-ANC ithi yona ayizange wathole lawo maminithi ke noma lemniningwane kusukela ngo-2013 iyona ithi akhona aqala ku-2018 uma ngabe ningawatholi ke aqala ngo-2013 yini lenizoyenza?
Siswami mase uyibheka lento le ayicaci kahle le ANC ikhulumayo for all this period ama minutes akhona then kwenzaka imihlolo yokuthi ngaleso sikhathi umongameli President Ramaphosa bekuuye isihlalo saleyo committee bathi ama minutes akekho lokho kusho ukuthina ukuthi kukhona into ye-ANC beyifihla until siya enkantolo sibe sibaphusha ukuthi ba release wonke lama documents and masithi wonke lama documents inkantolo ibe clear ithe written minutes any discussions zayenzeka ku-email zayenzeka ku-WhatsApp sireleasiwe as long as zihambisana nomsebenzi we-cadre deployment committee. If le information le ANC sinike yona kwamanje le sisayifunda ayihambiselani nesinqumo se constitutional court, thina sisobuyela emuva ku constitutional court sithi lento le sinikezwe yona ayihambisani nale nithe basinike yona, then sithathe action steps from there. But okwamanje i-team yethu yama researchers nama lawyers wethu SABC sifundana nalawo ma document. In the next few days sizawazisa isizwe lonke ukuthi lama document siya publisha ku website yethu nakuthi iPSC isinqumo lesi singasithatha kuya phambili.
Manje njengoba usho ke Malatsi ukuthi ke ama researchers wenu yiwona phezulu kwalomsebenzi ukuthi afunde lama documents, kahle yini mhlawumbe labayibhekayo, ikuphi lokho enifisa ukuthola noma enikubhekayo?
So into esibhekayo kwamanje ukuthi ANC yona beyithe ifuna ukuthi abantu bangabi exposed when this information published. So thina sifuna ukonfirma khase siyafunda lama documents ukuthi ayikho information efihliyewe kufana nokuthi bayibhale ngokumnyama ukuthi kungabonakali ukuthi bekuyigama lakabani, i-post bekuyiyakabani, and that's why sithi logo sizokwazi uku-establisha mase sicede ukuyafunda wonke lama documents. But njengoba ngishilo ekuqaleni into iyona sayela enkantolo ukuthi sifuna ukubonisa ukuthi iANC isebenzisa amandla enganayo, and leyo nto wrong. That's why thina sithi sifuna openly sibone ukuthi these discussions if beba decide ukuthi no, and ngiyenza i-example swami, if beba decide ukuthi uNoxolo bekumele kuqashwe yena as-CEO ye-Eskom, sifuna wona lama minutes loud because lento lo ikhomba ifavoritism komunye umuntu, and isho ukuthi nale process yoku-appointa they compromised already because wathatha isinqumo way before the process opened. Therefore ama-interviews wokuqala bekuya ama-formality nje because abantu labo bafuna i-ANC from ekuqaleni kubele bona bathola leyo msebenzi at the end of the day.
Uma ngabe ke Malatsi senithola mhlawumbe ukuthi cha uNoxolo impela wafakwa kulesi sikhundla engafanelekile ukuthi angene kuso, mhlawumbe injongo zenu ezokwazisa nje umphakathi ukuthi iANC isebenza kanjeni ukuthi yenza into wrong, noma mhlawumbe zikhona ezinye inyathelo enizobe seniyithatha ama ngabe senikutholile lokho enikubhekayo?
Yeah, ama-options wona sinawo siswami, because if i-process yokuqasha umuntu yaba beyi-compromised kusho ukuthi legally singakwazi uku-argue ukuthi leyo appointment must be null and void or ayikho emthethweni. But ngeke ngispeculate okwamanje ukuthi once sesiqine ukuyafunda lama documents amanyathelo aphi lawo sizowathatha, kodwa ama-options wona agcwele because into yeyikhona mawubheka i-performance yama-government departments, mawubheka i-performance yama-state-owned enterprises afana nabo-PRAS, abo-Transnet, bo-Eskom, ubheka ne-performance ye-local government la ezweni lakithi, iyakhomba into yokuba i-performance ayihambi kahle, and leyo nto ihambisana nokuthi kuqashwa abantu laba bangayenzi umsebenzi kahle, kuqashwa abantu laba bangekho fit for purpose yaloyo msebenzi. That's why i-service delivery i-compromised la eMzansi.
Manje ke Malatsi sasiphetha nje ke nina njenge Democratic Alliance, mangathiwa ke amanye amaqembu ezombusazwe ke nawo afuna ukwazi ukuthi nina ke njenge DA nibakhetha kanjani abantu, ningayidalula leyo mniningwane?
Okokuqala thina SEDA asi-practice cadre deployment, thina asi-interfere ukuthi ku-government zethu i-administration iqasha abobani. Into esihlala siyisho and into esihlala siyi-practice thina ukuthi if umuntu unama-qualifications, if umuntu una-experience, if umuntu is suitable for leyo position makaqashwe. Ngizokunikeza enye example, i-former director of national public prosecutions uBabu Vuspikoli, it is common knowledge ukuthi i-supporter ye-ANC kodwa waqashwa e-ofisini laka Premier Helen Zille as police ombudsman lo awubhekana nama-complaints we-public anawo regarding i-performance or i-treatment bayitholayo kumapolisa e-Western Cape. Lokho kuyakhomba ukuthi la siphethe khona thina into esifunayo ukuthi abantu ba-qualified regardless ukuthi babuya kuliphi iqembu. That's why in comparison mawubheka i-provincial government e-Western Cape ne-government esiphethwe i-DA, they always performa kahle compared to lezi siphathwe i-ANC because abantu baqashwe ngendlela efanele, abantu baqashe ngokuthi bane-experience nokuthi bayawazi umsebenzi obawenzelayo, abaqashi ngokuthi ama-supporters or i-comrades e-ANC or they are sympathetic kwi-ANC.
Hayi ke Malathi sibonga kakhulu ke ngesikhathi sakho njengoba na ushile ukuthi hayi kuzothatha izinsuku ezimbalwa ke ukuthi nikwazi ukuthi ke ni share le information. Sesiyolinda sibone ke ukuthi kupho kuyohlaluka nini yosikhombisa khona. Sikufisele nje ke usuku oluhle.
Ngibonge kakhulu Swami, ngiyathembisa hayi ngizosibrasha isizulu sami.
Hayi sihamba kahle. Siyabonga kakhulu umbukelekelo wobe kuSoli Malathi okhulumela iDemocratic Alliance kuzwelonke ubechaza ke kabanzi malungana nodaba olusematheni kwezombusazwe lapho khona iANC ihlinzeke iqembu lakhe iDA ngemqulu yekomiti elibhekele ukujujwa kwamalungu aleli qembu ezikhundleni zokuphatha kuhulumeni. Asike qu 8 sizobuya futhi ke emva komzuzwana. Siphinde sikamukele mbukeli lapha ekhaya Jikelele. Kanti bangabe siqhubekela phambili ngezindaba esikuphathele zona, undunankulu wesifundazwe iGauteng uPanyaza Lisufi ubethula inkulumo abeyibhekise ebantwini basesifundazweni iGauteng. Kuningi ngembukeli okushiwo undunankulu wesifundazwe kanye nje nobe kwenzeka kwethulwa lenkulumo. Silandeke usihlalo wesikhungo esibhekele ukusetshenziswa kwemali yabakhokhi-ntela esishayamathetho saseGauteng uSochayile Khanyile. Baba Khanyile, asikubingelele sikamukele ohlelweni.
Ngiyabonga mangibingelele kini nabalandeli nababukeli ekhaya Jikelele.
Ake siqale nje ke sibuze ukuthi ihambe kanjani inkulumo kaNdunankulu?
Into esitholile izolo ukuthi uNdunankulu usibikele ngombiko ebeka ngezinto ebekade azekhonile ukuzenza seloku angena ukuthi abe nguNdunankulu waseGauteng ngo-October kulonyaka odlule. Yowabika ukuthi khona kwakuningi ayethe ufuna ukukwenza wasekasichazela ukuthi usehambeka wafika kupho okuningi sikubonile ukuthi ukhonile ukwenza abantu abaningi abaseningizimu Afrika kukhona waseGauteng nabakubonile uye wakhona nokuthi izolo akhona ukubaletha nalabo bantu kufanele ukuthi sibone ukuthi sebaqhashile nama project amaningi asekhonile ukwenza wawubikela abantu baseGauteng. Okunye ke akhona ukwenza ke izolo ukuthi asichazele ukuthi kusukela manje yini okunye okuningi asazokwenza.
Yini nje ke ongathi ongayibalula uyicaphune lapha enkulumeni kaNdunankulu esifundazwe eGauteng?
Into enkulu ebalekile ukuthi kuneyinkinga eziningi eGauteng. Into ukuthi ngabe kukhonile na ukuthi uhulumeni waseGauteng akhona ukuthi azenze lezi zinto lezo. Bokuqala nje into ebalekile indaba yokusweleka kwemisebenzi. Aba uPrima ushilo izolo ukuthi inkinga yokuthi kusweleka umsebenzi ngoba umnotho awukhuli. Umnotho ungakhuli kuyenzakala ukuthi imisebenzi ingabi khona kodwa bezukuhlala nje phansi bathi dekde ukuthi abantu abakho ukuthola imisebenzi ingakho bakhonile ukuthi bavule imithuba yemisebenzi benze ukuthatha okokuqala babheke ukuthi imiphi imisebenzi ekhona ngaphakathi kwahulumeni engakaqhashi engakenzi ukuthi kube khona abantu abaqhashiwe kuyo. Kwesibili kwenzile ukuthi akhulume namasitha akhona ukuthi nawo awabhekelele ukuthi la anganceda kanjani. Okwesithatha kwenzile ukuthi wakhuluma nabantu abaphethe ezamabhizinisi la eGauteng ukuthi nabo bavula amathuba abasebenze nayo ukuthi bakhe imisebenzi. Ngaleyo ndlela akhonile ukuthi avule amathuba emisebenzi. Izolushilo ukuthi useqhasha abantu angavile ku-90,000 kodwa wabuya wa-announce futhi usehleleni ukuthi another 40,000 akhona ukuthi ayiqhashe. Oqala lokwesibili ukhulume ukuthi inkinga khona ngeke umnotho ukhulu uma ngabe ukuthi la eGauteng kunenkinga yokusweleka kogesi okanye load shedding. Ngaleyo ndlela leyo ubonile ukuthi noma kungekho okuningi kufanele uhulumeni wesifundazwe angakhona ukwenza ngoba lento lezi zinto ekufanele sibheke government uhulumeni ophezulu uhulumeni wase-South Africa uthe yena sikhona ukuthi senze singakwenza ukuthi sifake amasola kuma-informal settlement amaningi nabaqalile e-Alexander basazoya kwamanye ama-informal settlement ushilo futhi wathi bakhonile ukuthi bangene ukuthi endaweni eziningi abantu abaningi benganawo kahle ugesi hayi ngoba kune promotion load shedding kodwa ngoba bekuvandalizwe lento esibiza ukuthi ama transformer so khonile ukuthi akhulume nabantu nenkampani eziningi kakhulu sithi pha ukuthi bakhona ufaka lezo ama transformer so kuningi nje okunye akunisho kodwa kakhulu kubalekile bekuyiko lokho ukhona ukunika sekushilo ukuthi kusazokwenziwa nako singaxoxa futhi ngakho mangabe sisenesikhathi
njengoba nje ke uzihlalo weScopa nje engabe ke nizokwenza kanjani ukwenza isiqiniseko sokuthi ayibhubhudlwe imali yabakhokha intela esifundazweni iGauteng
into ebalekile ukuthi masibheke ukuthi sekwenzakaleni isikhathi samanje njengoba shilo kupremier izolo noma mhlawumbe ngakubeka ngendlela ecacile ushilo ukuthi ukusetshenziswa kweimali eGauteng sekushintshile sesiyakhona bayakhona njengohulumeni ukuthi benze ukuthi imali zisetshenziswe ngendlela kufanele zisetshenziswe ngaso yingakho noma uauditor general ebenza ireport yakhe unyaka odlule uthole ukuthi sezikhona ama department amaningi akahulumeni waseGauteng esekhonile ukuthi athole lento esibiza ukuthi clean audit iclean audit isho ukuthi kukhona indlela okureportwe ngazo imali nangendlela eziphethwe ngazo imali khonile ukuthi kuphucuke okanye kutholakala futhi ukuthi akukho indlela akwenza ukuthi kube khona ukukhwabanisa kwezimali kusasekhona ke amanye ama department ekufanele asebenze ngawo wona asukile le esimene esimbi kodwa esethuthukile so sibona ukuthi ngaleyo ndlela kuzobaleka ukuthi sincedise nathi njenge legislature ekwenzeni yethu ukuthi mangabe sisebenza nohulumeni simkhombise ukuthi nazi izinto esicabanga ukuthi sina kufanele zenziwe ukuze kube nenqubekela phambili ekwenzeni ukuthi imali zethu zingabi khona ukukhwabanisa
bakhona ke abantu abangenalo nhlobo ithemba ngenkulumo kaNdunankulu kanti abanye abasalethemba inhlobo phela iqembu kelibusayo iANC ungathini nje kulabo bantu ngoba ngiyazi ukuthi ke gavela futhi lapha enkundleni zokuxhumana abantu bebekhona bethatha ama video kukhombisa abantu abaningi bephuma nje besukuma behamba uNdunankulu esethula inkulumo yakhe
make ngichaze nje ukuthi ukuqala kune mangabe sikhuluma ngokuthi uhulumeni fanele uzokwenza njani kukabili khona esisho sithi sisazokwenza lezo izethembiso kodwa khona izithi sesenze lokho kusho ukuthi sekuyabonisa ukuthi kwenzakaleni njengoba sengichazile okunye sekwenzakalile uma uhulumeni la Gauteng ethi sesenze okuthize lo akushilo nje izolo uhulumeni upremier kusho ukuthi ngamanye amagama kufanele simethembe ngoba useshilo ukuthi lokho asazokwenza ubonile ukuthi kunendlela azokwenza ngayo so kubalekile ukuthi abantu baseGauteng kakhulu babheke ukuthi ngabe le ithembiso azenza ngo-October umengenya uhambe wafika kuphi uma ngabe ukuthi izenzile isiqiniseko sikhonayo ukuthi iqhubekela phambili lezi ezinyathi ufuna ukuzenza nako zizokwenzakala okukhulu akusuku nje kufanele ngabe utheni ushilo ukuthi lokho ngizokwenza kanje mangenze umzekelo ushilo ukuthi njengoba manje ngifuna ukuthi ngikhulise ngifake futhi ama solar panel ukuthi mangenze umzekelo ngendaba yamalokishi uthi ufuna ukukhulisa amalokishi ukuthi amalokishi aphucuke wasekathi ngifuna 40,000 about 40,000 yolusha ubabize ukuthi all over abahleli abangenzi lutho uzobanikeza ikili wasekathi sengikhulumile nama technical ukuthi abaphe ama skills so ngaleyo ndlela kusho ukuthi uyathembisa ukuthi ikhani ngisazo ukuthi sebekhulumile nabo yile into kufanele abantu abaseningizimu bafika basibheka kakhulu abaseGauteng ngabe uhlelo njengoba lukhona ithembiso zikhona lunohlelo na kuzokwenzakala kanjani okukhulu ukuthi ngabe ezinye izinto ezasithenjisiwe zenzakele noma ngabe kunjalo futhi lo hulumeni ngamethemba
manje ungasho Khanyile ukuthi cha kukhona okwehlukile kule nkulumo yakulonyaka mangabe siqhathanisa neyanyaka enye kukhona osekwenzekile abantu phela ngoba bayakhala bathi nje awu uhulumeni nje ucula icule lodwa njalo nje
uma ngibheka kahle Gauteng unyaka odlule sithole kahle into esibizwa ama state of the province amabili oqala beseqaleni konyaka yathulwa uNdunankulu uMakhura esibili kwakuyileka kaNdunankulu uLisufi ayenze ngo-October umengene so zimbili uma kahle kangcono kwesikhulume ngayo ukusho ukuthi uLisufi ngoba izolo uyo bekathula inkulumo ukuthi uzokwenza njani kodwa singakhohlwa ukuthi ushilo naye ukuthi ngisebenza phezulu komsebenzi waqalwe ungqongqoshe wekhona qala uMakhura so ungibeke ungendlalele indlela ukuthi ngikwazi ukwenza into engizenzayo so ngaleyo ndlela leyo kuningi esekushintshile selokangena uprime abantu abaningi bazosho njengoba sengishilo asiqale ngani njengoba ngishilo eqala ukuthi indaba yemisebenzi ewu-90,000 ama-transformer angenile ey'ndaweni eziningi abantu bajabulile bathi abanye bathi bebengenawo ugesi iminyaka emidluli engale kwa-4 years and 5 years abanye ababasho kanjalo. Uma ungabheka kahle kahle indaba yokuthi silwise ubugebengu eGauteng sekuyinto eseyibona ukuthi sesingakhona sibe nenqubekela phambili ngoba khona manje sekhona nama-drones akuthiwa azoba khona azobheka ukuthi izindawo la amaphoyisa angakhona ukufikelela khona abakhona ukuthi sibone ukuthi kwenzakalani nakhona. Kunezinto eziningi ezinye azishilo ukuthi sesizenzile and abantu abaningi base-South Africa kakhulukhulu abaseGauteng ngoba bahlelile bayazibona lezi zinto lezi sezenzakele. Yingakho nje abaningi babo noma baye basho ukuthi kithi mangabe sikhuluma ngoba thina siyiparliament yaseGauteng noma sibabize sithi babeze kithi bazosho ukuthi bona babona kanjani base bathi no cha siyabona ngokuguqu kodwa kusasekuningi kufanele kwenziwe.
Hayi sibonga kakhulu ke sihlalo weScopa lapha yayishamthetho sesifundazwe eGauteng ubaba uKhanyile sibonga kakhulu ngesikhathi sakho sikufisela usuku oluhle.
Ngiyabonga nami.
Mbukeli lo ke bekusihlalo weScopa esishamthetho sesifundazwe eGauteng usochayile Khanyile kanti ke besixoxa naye ngokuhlalo ke enkulumweni kaNdunankulu esifundazwe eGauteng uPanyaza Lesufi asisiqu eyitolo sizobuya emva komzuzwana.
Enkosi kakhulu ngokuhlala nathi mbukeli we-Ekhaya Jikelele. Namhlanje ke kwisiqendu sethu sezakwantu sijonga kwiilimi zaseMzantsi Afrika okanye zase-Afrika nekukhuthazwayo ukuba zimiliselwe kumaziko emfundo enomsila. Ekujongeni lo mba ke siza kuthi sifunde nzulu ngezilwimi nkqu nangembali yazo ukuze sive banzi ngako konke ke ngoku apha estudio sinaye unjingalwazi Bonizungu oyintloko kwizifundo ze-African languages kuyo ke iDuniversity yaseGauteng UJ ngamafutshane. Prof masikubulise sikwamkele inkqubeni uluvuyo nochulumanqa into okubana ube lapha kule desika yethu.
Ngijabula mina ukuthi ngibe khona.
Wow, ndiyafuna Prof siqale into okubana uke usixelele banzi ngembali kunye ne-relationship phakathi kweelwimi zase-Afrika.
Ilimi zase-Africa nje iyonke zinokuhlobana noma ngabe ukhuluma iSwahili noma ngabe ukhuluma isiZulu noma ngabe ukhuluma isiXhosa kodwa zinakho ukuhlobana amagama amaningi azocisha afana. Kungaba ukuthi mhlambe ke sekungashintsha iphimbo olimini nolimi ukuthi mhlambe uzothi wena umama mina ngithi umama kodwa ukuhlobana kusukela ekuqaleni ngoba sonke singabantu sidabuka kuntu sonke kusuke iAfrica nje iyonkana singakafiki nokufika lapha eNingizimu Afrika. So izilimi zethu zinakho ukuhlobana nanokuthi vela ngithi ezilimini zethu lapha esifunda khona imlando yethu lapha esifunda khona amasiko ethu. So okuningi vele sikufunda la ezilimini zethu. So kuzoba nokuhlobana okukhulu ezilimini zethu ingakho njengoba uthethe isiXhosa ngikhuluma isiZulu kodwa sizwana sikwazi ukuthi sibe nenkulumo eqhubekayo.
Into ethi Prof singumuntu omnye nakubeni sahlukene kukho umZulu umXhosa umpeti njalo njalo ekugqibeleni sinto enye. Ndiyakhalela Prof into okubana usahlukanisele phakathi xa sizawuthetha nge-standard language kunye nayo i-dialect. Ndifuna nje uqonde into obana umahluko umephi.
Umahluko ozothi i-standard language ulimi lolu oluvanyisiwe, ulimi lolu olubhalwayo, ulimi lolu olwamukelekile, ulimi lolu olune nobhalo nendlela yokubhala ethile. Ngamanye amagama masikhuluma nge-standard language sikhuluma ngolimi ozothola zonke izincwadi zikahulumeni osomqulu bakahulumeni izincwadi ezifundwa esikoleni zizosetshenziswa lolu limi lolu oluvanyisiwe. Lune orthography yakhona strict esho ukuthi awukwazi ukubhala kanje na awukwazi ukubhala kanje. Uma sokhuluma nge-dialect sikhuluma ngolimi lwezigodi. Mhlambe mangizobeka nje isibonelo ulimi lwakho lwesiXhosa luzoba nezilimi eziningi ezingama dialects nakuba abantu abazikhulumayo bebona kuyizilimi mhlambe isithembu isibhaca njalo njalo kodwa mase besikoleni bazofunda ulimi lwesiXhosa okuyilona oluvanyisiwe noma ngabe bakhuluma lezo zilimi lezo ezingama dialects ekhaya. So bakhona abantu abangama scholars noma abayizincitha buchopho abafunda nje ulimi lolu lwama dialects bona ke bese beqhamuka nenjulalwazi ezithi i-dialect iwulimi. Kodwa wena mangabe ukuthi umuntu oyi-language purist noma umuntu ofunda ulimi lolu oluvanyisiwe olu-standardized ngamanye amagama, usuke unakho ukuthi yebo lona luwulimi kodwa mase size kubhaleni kuzoya ngokuthi kulesi sifundo qhamuka kusona noma kule lalo qhamuka kuyona bona bakhuluma kanjani. So kunzima ukuthi ungalawula ulimi olunjenge dialect ukuthi ligcine lubhaleka lukhulumeka ngendlela ethile.
Icaceca kuba kulento oyithethayo sizawusuka kwindawo kumakhaya ngamakhaya kwilali ngelali ufumanisa into kubana njengobusisha into kubana uyakwabhaca uye emampondweni ulwimi lwahlukile kodwa kube khona esisixhosa kuzothiwa esi sisulungekile sikhona ezincwadini njalo njalo. Sisahlabela mgama njalo Prof, ndiyafuna ke ngoku uqonda into bana xa sizawuthetha nge-code switching ne-code mixing ingaba sithetha ngantoni kwaye ngeyiphi mhlawumbe okanye zeziphi i-disadvantages ne-advantages kwezinto zimbini?
Lokho kuyizindlela zokukhuluma ezisetshenziswa abantu abakhuluma izilimi ezahlukene. Sesiyakwenza ke thina kakhulu ngoba siyathanda ukukhumcha ngithi so into ezokwenzeka ukuthi uma ngabe ngizokhuluma isiZulu nje esimsulwa kuba ngazi ukuthi angifundanga kahle ngathi akasazi isingisi ngoba uprofessor njani ongasikhulumi isingisi bese ngilongifaka amagama ke kwesisikhathi uthola ukuthi nesidingo sokuthi ngikwenze lokho asikho. Kodwa futhi bese uthola ukuthi ngokuthi izilimi zethu njoba e-University of Johannesburg sikhuluma ngo-4IR izilimi zethu azikakafiki ezingeni lali zizokwazi ukuthi zincintisane nezinye izilimi khona uma kuziwe kwezobuchwepheshe uma kuziwa kweze science amagama sisaqhubeka sisawakha. Manje uthola mhlambe ngifuna ukwazi ukuthi konje ngizothi yini feedback ngesiZulu ngicabanga ngizothi yini feedback mhlambe sengikhohliwe ukuthi konje yini feedback ngesiZulu bese ngivele ekukhulumeni kwami ngivele ngilifake igama le feedback linjalo kodwa uthola likhona lesizothi ibuyisela mbiko uyabona. Kodwa kwesinye isikhathi kuba ukuthi ukujwayela okwenza ukuthi sigcine si-code switcher si-code mixer bese kuthi eyikhungweni zemfundo ephakeme abafundi kukhona amagama othola ukuthi akazi ukuthi uzothi yini tutorial ngesiZulu ngesixhosa ngesipedi njalo njalo agcina sethe nje ngiya kwi-tutorial bese ngena lapho ke lento yama encapsulated phrases la umuntu khona ezothi ngiya attenda lowa attenda ahlale isingisi ngapho ufaka i-prefix yesiZulu ne-suffix yesiZulu igama lesingisi lisele lapha phakathi kodwa ukukhuluma kuzwakala ngathi kuyisiZulu noma kuyi-partially assimilated phrase kuleyo nto leyo. So i-code mixing ne-code switching kuba enye subdiscipline nakhona noma umkhakha omncane we-social linguistics uma sibheka ukusebenza kolimi emphakathini. Ngamanye amagama sibheka ukuthi kuleyo ndawo abantu abakuyo yini ebavumelayo njengoba silapha eGauteng ngiqhamuka KwaZulu Natal kodwa mase ngila kufanele ngenze isiqiniseko sokuthi abantu engikhuluma nabo bayangizwa ekhungweni kezemfundo ephakeme uthola ukuthi abafundi basebenzisa injulalwazi ukuthi angeke-accommodate speech accommodation theory. So uma usebenzisa leyo njulalwazi ithi kufanele ungizwe phela ukuthi ngithini nami ngikuze ukuthi uthini ngakho-ke kuzophoqa ukuthi kwesinye isikhathi asigcine sithekela esingisini uma sikhuluma.
And Prof kulento oyithethayo ndingangqina okanye namaXhosa ngangqinelana nami xa ndisithi siyathanda nathi into bana simixe kakhulu nesingesi qonda ba umntu hayi no ndiyatravelisha and ke thina ke sifuna ukuyixuba singathi ndiyatravela sifuna uyixuba ibe lapha esiXhoseni hayi ndiyatravelisha manje ndiyaphana etown ndifuna ukuthi ndishophishe ndithini uzoqonda nakamanye amaxesha ufumanise kwi-communication yabazali bafuna mhlawumbe umntwana angeva mhlambe kuthethwa ngakuthi no ndizamthi give azayithi get because uzawuthi run xa inthi see kuthetha ezo zinto ezo. Ndiyafuna uqonda Prof into kubana xa sijonga kwiilwimi zethu sinxibelelana njani nenkcubeko badla ngokutsho ngamakhumsha basitsho into kubana your language is your identity. Ingaba ilwimi zethu zinxibelelana njani nenkcubeko yethu?
Uma ngabe nje uzovula umlomo ukhuluma nje ukuthetha isiXhosa nje ungikhumbuza ngisese University of Fort Hare so babehlala bethi khawuthethe doc ngangisewudoc nje khawuthethe doc uthetha kamandi so ngoba kwakufika umuntu okhuluma ngendlela ehlukile kubona yabona kubona ngathi bangahlale bekulalela and izilimi zase-Africa zinalento engathi umculo zimelodic umuntu mangabe eyikhuluma ilanguage yakhe uma ngabe uyikhuluma kahle ilanguage yakhe abantu bayalalela uthi yo wazi wasikhuluma kahle wasithetha kahle isiXhosa wasikhuluma kahle isiZulu so vele izilimi zethu ziyithi ngoba olumini lami la uzofunda khona ukuthi ngiwumuntu onjani ngikhuliswe kanjani ngifundiswe ngenhlonipho ngembeko ngoba lokho kusolimini engulukhulumayo uma ngabe sikhuluma nje ngolimi sisuke sikhuluma ngento enothe kakhulu suke sikhuluma ngezaqheqhe zempilo yomuntu walolo limi lolo alukhulumayo kodwa ke ngenxa ukuthi phela nathi sisuke sifuna ukuthola amatoho sisebenze sibe njani sigcina manje sekungazi ukuthi ulimi lwethu ngathi lungasalele emuva uma usuqhathanisa nezinye izilimi kanti lokho akufanele kube njalo kufanele mangabe ngikhuluma isiZulu ngisikhulume siqonde ngisikhulume siphelele uma sengishintshe lesingisini nakhona futhi kube njalo ngoba siyazama ukukhuluma isingisi uzumhleka umuntu ukuthi hayiyo akasikhulumi kahle isingisi kodwa mangabe ngikhuluma ulimi lwami kube ngazi ukuthi ngathi khona into ethile esilelayo yebo
and ngingathanda unqinelana nawe prof kulento ithethayo because I mean omnye mhlawumbe kuzawuthiwa xa ukwazi uthetha isingesi kumeasurishwa i-intelligence yakho to a point where even abantwana mhlawumbe bazawufunda kwizikolo ezikudido eliphezulu xa begodikile kuthiwa no ungathethi naye kanje I mean uthetha isilungu kube ngathi mhlawumbe uyapraise but yet lo ofluent kulwimi lwakhe elwenkobe kube ngathi ngumntwana nje but xa ujonga nakwamanye amazwe aphesheya abanye abantwana baphambile bafundiswa ngelwimi zabo mhle kakhulu umsebenzi enwenzayo ingakumbi kwimfundo ephakamileyo ndiyafuna uqonda into bana mhlambe ngokufundiswa xa sizawuthetha kwe-African languages ingaba ingancedisana njani i-implementation ye-language policy framework
ukuqinisekisa ukuthi kuqalisa inqubomgomo yokusetshenziswa kwezilimi ezikhungweni zemfundo ephakeme kusiza kakhulu kusiza ukuthi abafundi abaqhamuka ezikoleni ezingekho phezulu noma ezikoleni ebezingasebenzisi isingisi uma sebefika la ezikhungweni zemfundo ephakeme bakwazi nabo ukusheshe bajwayele ngoba uyabona mangabe sebefika nje endlini egumbini lokufundela ukufundwa ngalo ngolimi lwabo i-University of Johannesburg iqalisa ukufundisa isiXhosa nje this year besingekho bekade kukhona isiZulu nesipedi so abafundi indlela abajabule ngayo kuze ukuthi kuzoba khona isiXhosa ngithukile ukubona ukuthi sebengaphezulu kwekhulu abafundi ababhalisela isemester yokuqala ngoba kubona ukuthi ngizofunda ngolimi lwami noma ngabe ngiyaphuma kwesinye isifundo siyangehlula kodwa uyabona mase ngiyalapha ngifunda inqumbo eminyanya uyabona ngiyofunda bakwazi idenge kumina ngizizwa ngisekhaya so ukuthi le nqubomgomo yezilimi iqalisa ukusebenza ezikhungweni zemfundo ephakeme kusisiza kakhulu kwenza ukuthi nabafundi abakade beyitshela ukuthi izilima zabo azibalulekile babona hawu nasenyuvesi kanti uyafika kuthiwa zintathu izilimo ongakhetha kuzo ungakwazi ukuthi ufunde ngolimi lwakho ekugcineni kwakhona ngoba inhloso ekugcineni ukuthi sigcine sikwazi ukuthi sifundise nabafundi bafunde ngolimi lwabo
enkosi kakhulu prof mhle kakhulu umsebenzi enwenzayo apho niqaqambisa ilwimi lwenkobe kuhle kakhulu nokuva into okubana khona abafundi ababonakalisa benikeza umdla wokuba bafunde ilwimi zabo into ethi kancinci phambili sizawubona kwaye ke njengokusitsho into obana kumba we4AR ikhona igap ekhona siyathemba into okubana ekuhambeni kwamaxesha lamsansa uzawuvaleka sibone ne4AR isebenzisana kakhulu ne-African languages enkosi kakhulu right imbukeli ekhaya jikelele lo ke ibingunjingalwazi bonizungu wase-UJ besixelela banzi ke nge-African languages kunye ke nokusetyenziswa kwazo kumaziko emfundo ephakamileyo kwangoku ke masithi qhwisi bhatala amatyala qiniseka mbukeli awugungqe sabukele inkqubo ithandayo ekhaya jikelele Enkosi kakhulu ngokuhlala nathi nisasibukele apha ekhaya jikelele kanti ngokumbukeli singena kwisiqendu sezochwepheshe apho kaloku umbukeli sikutyebisela banzi ngokuqhubekayo kanti ke namhlanje sizawuqila kakhulu kwi-app ebizwa ngokuba yi-Fascinate nejolise eqinisekiseni into yokubana abathengisi ingakumbi xa sizawujonga kwi-entrepreneurs bayakwazi into yokubana baphuhliseke inika ke iqonga lokuba aqale ivenkile eze-internet ukanti ngoku sikrwece usino Elton Lincoln Facer kwi-Zoom uzosixelela ke ngakumbi ngale app. Good morning Elton, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning and thank you very much for having me.
Elton, can you explain how Fascinate specifically addresses the barriers that small entrepreneurs and aspiring entrepreneurs face in accessing technology?
Yes, as you know, I mean, technology can be very difficult and very expensive. And sometimes it feels like it's exclusively for those who can afford it, and those that can't are left behind. So I kind of looked at it, and I came up with a plan to build an application that you can basically house any type of business on it. And I think it's been doing quite well since inception. And it's been taken quite nicely by, I think, the public on. It's really a nice little tool for businesses and even entrepreneurs trying to start out.
It's great that, I mean, even aspiring entrepreneurs have actually used this app. I want to know, I mean, what are some of the key features of this app that are currently, you know, that make it user-friendly for those who may not be tech-savvy?
That's exactly it. If you can imagine having your own sort of like online store in a matter of like, let's say 5 minutes, okay? It sounds impossible, but there's a lot of work that gone into making it like very easy, very intuitive. And literally it was made so anybody, regardless of like, you know, the knowledge that you have, education that you have, if you can use anything like WhatsApp or Facebook or anything like that, you should be able to go into the application, sign up, and within a couple of minutes, you're going to have your own online store. It'll ask you like, I think there's 6 questions which it currently ask you. What type of business are you into, type of products are you selling, and then it basically goes off and generates your own application for you.
We understand that, I mean, in any platform that would enable users to generate any form of income, be it's entrepreneurs or anyone who is in that sector. I want to understand, I mean, how do you ensure security and actually build trust among users for every transaction on the platform?
Yeah, so obviously security is a massive, massive thing. And we only use the state-of-the-art, top-of-the-range, like newest and latest, greatest technology for security. We got like a lot of things in place for, you know, fraud detection and those kind of stuff. So every transaction is 100% secured. For credit card and electronic payments, everything goes through a 3D secure payment gateway. So, you know, you can rest assured that 100% everything is secured. But obviously, as I always tell people, you know, with the internet, there's always possibilities for people to try and scam people, et cetera, you know, and we have measures in place to actually pick that up and to counteract it.
Elton, we cannot talk about, you know, apps and leave behind the artificial intelligence innovation. Can you just provide more details about how this app, the Fascinate, is planning to integrate the artificial intelligence technology, and how will this benefit small businesses?
Okay, yeah. So this is the perfect platform to actually introduce this. Obviously, with the introduction of like ChatGPT and taking AI streamline, it was a very good opportunity for us to kind of look at it and say, okay, we already use like quite a bit of artificial intelligence in the application, and people are more adapt to it now. However, if you look at what Fascinate is trying to do, even prior to AI becoming mainstream, the gap between, like, for example, South Africa and the rest of the world, as far as technology is concerned, is actually enormous. And then you look at that gap between like your rich companies and your big companies and somebody starting out, the technological gap there is even bigger. So what AI has done is made that gap enormous, okay? So we kind of looked around and we said, okay, you know what, we can actually use AI to make it even simpler, a lot more easier. And what we're planning on introducing by the end of April, hopefully, is a completely brand new Fascinate that is completely driven by AI, where you can basically chat and tell the application or the chatbot about what you do, what you want to do, and it will actually generate everything for you. But it goes even further than that, because it's going to help you with your marketing. It will help you run your business. We're introducing things where business plans and explanation of business plans and running a business is essential, okay? And a lot of people don't actually know, you know, it's often like, I want to start up a business, but how do I start up? What do I do? And all those information is going to be built into the application to actually help you run your business and make a success, you know, because we have to do this because the technological gap is only going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. So we have to do something to counter it and try and reduce the unemployment rate that we're currently sitting with.
Yes, and I mean, what are some of the examples of how an AI assistance on Fascinate could help, a small business owner in managing their operations, marketing, and other customer service?
Yeah, so for example, you just tell it like, okay, I have this product. I'm going to give you a nice example. So you take a picture of your product. One of the things that we often picked up is like people don't actually know how to often describe their product and what it is and how to sell it to people. So you can just take a picture of your product. It will go and generate the description for it, ask you about the pricing, and then at the same time generate the marketing material, which you can then go and say, okay, post it on Facebook, on your WhatsApp status, or whatever the case is. And that is absolutely a perfect example of a simple example of how you can use AI to actually help you in like building your business and getting your products more marketable.
Thank you so much for joining us. I mean, we wish you all the best with your app. May you gain more and more entrepreneurs getting into this platform. Thank you so much for joining us. Lo ke mbukeli besitha naye ibinguye uElton Fazer, umqulunqi ke we-app encedisana namashishini asakhasayo. Setha ngayo kaloku iFascinate. Siziqala ke mbukeli siziqongqotha ngolo hlobo. Sibambe ngazibini ngokuba uye wavuka nathi. Siyiqala le nkqubo de sibe kanti ngoku siyayisonga. Masibone kwakhona ngomso.
Nisale kahle.